Get ready because the most capable AI model is not always the right choice for your application. We are diving deep into why picking the biggest name on the leaderboard can be costing you massive amounts of money and frustrating your users. We're looking at the trade-offs between raw power and practical performance as we explore the complexities of using models like GPT-4o and Claude Opus in real-world scenarios.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at a massive shift in the enterprise AI landscape. Reuters reports that OpenAI and Anthropic are reportedly buying their way into enterprise services by acquiring AI services firms that specialize in deploying frontier models. This move signals a major change, suggesting that the battleground is shifting from just model access to owning the entire implementation and workflow integration layer. Then we turn to the consumer side with a monumental decision from Apple. Apple is planning to let iOS 27 users choose their own AI model from OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic to power system-level features. This move transforms the AI layer from a fixed stack into a curated marketplace, fundamentally reshaping the competitive landscape for every AI company. Finally, the government is stepping in to safeguard the future. The U.S. government's AI Security Center, NISD, is launching pre-deployment evaluations to rigorously test frontier models from Google, Microsoft, and xAI for cybersecurity risks. This is a critical move to define what is trustworthy, and we break down what this means for AI safety and deployment. The assumption that the most powerful artificial intelligence model is automatically the best choice for an application is proving to be a costly mistake. A recent analysis by Unite AI argues that the pursuit of frontier models like GPT-4o or Claude Opus often leads to project bloat, spiraling costs, and unacceptable latency for many real-world applications. The core argument is that most capable and most appropriate are distinct concepts. Frontier models excel in ideal conditions, demonstrating broad capabilities like complex reasoning or creative writing, but they often incur high operational costs and perform poorly on narrow, specific tasks, such as summarizing customer support tickets or extracting structured data. Specialized, smaller models, including Haiku, Mistral, and Llama 3.18b, can achieve impressive accuracy for focused tasks when prompts are well-engineered. The performance gap between these lighter models and frontier models shrinks significantly when the task is narrowly defined and prompts are optimized. Furthermore, API pricing for frontier models can be exponentially higher than for lighter alternatives, making the cost disparity significant at scale. To mitigate these issues, the report advocates for hybrid architectures, where simple classification tasks are routed to lightweight models, reserving the heavy-duty models only for complex reasoning steps. This approach offers substantial financial benefits for companies operating at high call volumes. Latency is another critical factor. In user-facing applications, even minor delays, 4 to 6 seconds from a frontier model, can erode user trust. Faster, smaller models can provide a superior user experience in real-time scenarios. Crucially, output quality is determined by both model capability and prompt quality. Well-crafted prompts on smaller models can outperform lazy prompting on top-tier models. Moreover, fine-tuning open-source models on domain-specific data has demonstrated the ability for them to outperform general frontier models on specific tasks in fields like legal tech and healthcare. For applications with strict data privacy constraints, self-hosted, open-source models are the only viable path forward. The recommendation is to move away from defaulting to the biggest name on a leaderboard. Instead, teams must implement systematic, structured evaluations using tools like braintrust or weights and biases, prompts on representative real-world data to match the model precisely to the task, factoring in latency, cost, security, and the team's capacity for prompt engineering. The final takeaway is that successful AI product development is not about running the most powerful model, but about deploying the most appropriate one for the specific requirements of the problem. OpenAI and Anthropic are reportedly entering a new phase of expansion by acquiring AI services firms specializing in the enterprise deployment of frontier models. This strategic move signals a significant shift in the AI landscape, suggesting that the value in AI is moving beyond model access toward controlling the implementation, systems integration, and workflow capture layers. Reuters reports that joint ventures linked to both labs are actively discussing the acquisition of AI services companies that assist businesses in deploying cutting-edge models. OpenAI's new venture, the deployment company, is reportedly in advanced discussions for 3 deals, financed through a joint venture with private equity backers including TPG, Bain Capital, and Brookfield, with OpenAI expected to maintain operational control. Similarly, Anthropic is pursuing a parallel strategy via a private equity-backed vehicle involving investors such as Blackstone, Hellman and Friedman, and Goldman Sachs, aiming to acquire firms that facilitate enterprise AI deployment. The core strategic logic behind these acquisitions is that as access to frontier models becomes increasingly commoditized, the companies that control the implementation pathway will capture the most significant value. The bottleneck in enterprise AI is no longer simply accessing a model via an API. It is wiring those models into complex procurement systems, legacy software, data governance frameworks, and operational workflows. By acquiring service firms, OpenAI and Anthropic aim to transition from being infrastructure vendors to full-stack enterprise players. This establishes a sticky and defensible revenue stream by controlling everything from model selection and implementation, consulting to final workflow control. This development highlights the reality of AI adoption. Enterprise deployment remains profoundly people-heavy. The need for consultants, solution architects, security reviewers, and internal champions to bridge the gap between a model demo and a production system underscores the value of implementation services. The labs are reportedly buying this implementation capacity because adoption is currently gated by human orchestration, not fully automated rollout. This move presents an uncomfortable challenge for independent consultancies and smaller implementation startups, as the frontier labs are consolidating control over the last mile. While the market for implementation tooling may persist, differentiation will become harder unless firms own proprietary workflows or managed outcomes. Furthermore, the involvement of major private equity firms suggests that the market views AI services as a scalable financial asset class. This influx of capital incentivizes the labs to sell not just intelligence, but also deployment capacity. The next major competitive battleground in AI may center on who owns the human orchestration layer between the model and the business process. Apple is poised to fundamentally restructure its AI ecosystem with iOS 27 by introducing a configurable model marketplace, allowing users to select rival frontier AI models from providers like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic to power system-level features currently managed by Apple Intelligence. This represents a significant shift from Apple's previously tightly controlled AI stack to a curated distribution channel, redefining how the most valuable consumer AI real estate is allocated across billions of active iPhones. The mechanism involves extending the existing optional routing capability, seen in the ChatGPT integration in iOS 18.2, into a choice where users can select which provider's capabilities are invoked for writing assistance, summarization, Siri responses, and other intelligent actions. Crucially, Apple is not abandoning its on-device processing or private cloud compute infrastructure, preserving its core privacy and performance advantages while making the cloud AI layer flexible. The initial options for this marketplace are strategically aligned with Apple's existing commercial relationships. OpenAI holds a structural advantage as the first named alternative, while Google is positioned due to its substantial financial commitment to the Safari search market. Anthropic's Claude is expected to be included based on its reputation for instruction following and safety, aligning with Apple's rigorous review processes. Notably, this marketplace is curated. Major competitors like Meta's Llama models and numerous other frontier providers are excluded, signaling that Apple is establishing a controlled ecosystem rather than an open API. Strategically, this move can be viewed through two lenses. One perspective suggests a retreat, acknowledging that Apple's internal frontier model development has lagged behind competitors in key capability areas. The alternative view frames this as a powerful assertion of platform control, mirroring Apple's strategy with the App Store, creating a gatekeeper marketplace to capture value from the entire AI market. The distribution implications are profound. Being the user-selected default in iOS 27 grants an AI company ambient usage across billions of daily interactions, Siri calls, document editing, and web summaries, a distribution advantage far exceeding traditional app install metrics. This incentivizes leading AI firms to deepen their relationship with Apple through revenue sharing and integration commitments. For AI startups outside the established trio, this announcement signals a consolidation of the distribution hierarchy. The path to system-level iOS integration is now heavily skewed toward established leaders. Startups focusing on niche, superior models will find their distribution through specialized applications built atop iOS, rather than direct platform integration. This reinforces the structural dynamic established by the App Store. Platform control dictates default distribution, forcing specialized companies to compete on vertical expertise rather than direct model quality against the platform's preferred partners. The U.S. government is escalating its efforts to preemptively assess the cybersecurity risks posed by advanced artificial intelligence by commissioning the National Institute of Standards and Technologies, NIST, Center for AI Standards and Innovation, or CAISI, to conduct pre-deployment evaluations of frontier AI models. The initiative targets leading models from Google, Microsoft, and xAI before their public release to determine if their advanced capabilities present national security threats. CAISI Director Chris Fall emphasized the necessity of independent, rigorous measurement science to fully comprehend frontier AI and its security implications, highlighting that these industry collaborations are crucial for scaling public interest work at a critical juncture. The plan involves fostering information exchange between the government and tech firms to drive voluntary product improvements and ensure the government possesses a clear understanding of AI model capabilities. An interagency task force within CAISI will facilitate testing, including in classified environments. Microsoft's Chief Responsible AI Officer, Natasha Crampton, underscored the need for this partnership, stating that companies cannot independently conduct evaluations tied to national security and public safety, requiring deep collaboration with government entities. This development signals a significant shift from previous administrations, reversing prior policies that eliminated AI security review measures. This proactive stance follows recent events, such as Anthropic's decision to withhold its Claude Mythos model due to its capacity to identify serious software vulnerabilities. In response, the Trump administration is now considering implementing mandatory government reviews for all new AI models, alongside the voluntary CAISI evaluations. However, questions remain regarding the specific testing standards CAISI will employ. Former White House Cyber Policy Director Devin Lynch cautioned that the effectiveness of capability assessments hinges entirely on the threat models used. Lynch stressed that CAISI must clearly define and publish the criteria for testing, rather than focusing solely on the entities being evaluated.